Yo, guys, Urb'n Barz brings you the best UK reactions to rap, hip hop, and urban music from all around the world. And guys, we are in the UK with a special brother, and that's our brother Ren. I only discovered Ren just a few short months ago, but I cannot believe that Ren has only just entered my life. My man Ren is something else, people, and he's got me thinking about certain things. And Ren has done something here at Urb'n Barz, guys, that hasn't happened since I was 13 years old, and that is not a word of a lie. Ren made me cry on one of his tracks. I cannot believe that. He did. Yes, he did, guys. So that was on Freckled Angels. I couldn't believe it. Things that happen, etc. That song was incredible. If you haven't checked out Freckled Angels, you really need to check it out. And on his last track, he did a track called Suicide. And that was really, really sad because I think this is the prelude to this track here, which is called For Joe. And that was his best friend, who sadly is no longer amongst us, guys. So Ren has been on all ends of the spectrum with his own personal health, but also with the health and well-being of his friends and his very, very close friends. So Ren is a young person, and he's experienced a lot of things that a lot of people much older than him wouldn't have experienced. He's had some wild experiences, some good, some absolutely horrific. But guys, as you know, here at Urb'n Barz, I do not check these tracks before watching them. I watch them as live, and I make my comments and reactions as live. And my comments and my reactions are my own. They may be way off beam, they may be right on base, but they are true and they are on point, and they are absolutely what I believe at the moment I'm listening to these tracks. So guys, without any more further ado and any delay, this is our man Ren, and this track is called For Joe. And already, hopefully my earphones are plugged in properly, because sometimes they're not. I'm hearing sharp intakes of breath from Ren coming in my left can. And the first thing I'm thinking of, guys, is when I had a panic attack. I had one when I was like 18 years of age, guys, and I thought I was going insane. I'm not even going to go too much into it, but it was one of really horrific experiences in my life, guys, as well. At the time it happened, it was awful, and it just kept building and building and building until I just thought I was, mate, that was a bad time. So I learned from there breath control, guys, to ward off where you start to recognize things. I learned breath control, but I might be totally wrong, and I just hope my earphones are plugged in. But straight away, that's the first thing. And I'm telling you, people, because this is what happens. I have association. People have word association, things like that. I have association with so many things in my life, guys, and it's instant association. That's what I associate things with instantly. So I might be right, I might be wrong, but it's what I actually feel and what I'm hearing and what I'm thinking at the time. And it's weird. I'm sorry to stop it again. In his breathing, I'm hearing hip hop, hip hop. It's from an old track. That's just, it's just silly things, guys. But I'm not going to say anything more because I think this is a really, really serious track. It's going to be really personal and poignant to our man Ren. So I don't want to belittle or degrade or downgrade anything here, guys. So I'm going to keep it on point. And I should know where this is, guys, but I ain't got a clue. What a beautiful vista, though. It's absolutely beautiful, but I have no clue what it is. And hang on, guys, just before we go on, I'm just going to make sure. Yeah, I don't think it was plugged in properly. Really? Yeah, my earphones were not plugged in. Oh, nice piano. Oh, whoa. It is so weird. And I said this before in a few tracks that Ren's done. I always associate Ren with the guitar. I really do. But I know he's mastered a lot of different instruments. And for him to be playing the piano as well as he plays, it's just incredible. And it just shows there's so many bows to this man's talent. So many bows. And I know that our man Ren is an attention to details freak. So we've got a bottle here. I don't know, it looks like a Coca-Cola bottle or something. I'm not sure what is the liquid material inside it, but we've got that just absolutely beautiful shining light. Does this represent, is it representative of something? I don't know. I might be overthinking things, but that's an absolutely beautiful vista, and where he's at, it's a beautiful vista as well. Why am I thinking Vegas? I'm thinking Vegas, but I don't know, guys. Where is he? For some reason I'm thinking Vegas, but I don't know why. But there you go. Whoa. I've got a good friend who I go down his studios quite a lot. He introduced me recently, like he's obviously known this guy a long time, to a guy called Jacob Collier. And for some reason, just with the playing of instruments and the voice, the vocal arrangement, Jacob Collier is an incredible vocal artist, whatever. And I remember he did something with Stormzy a while back. My man, he's, for some reason, that just came to me. He's Jacob Collier. Is that his name, Jacob Collier? I think he was at Glastonbury this weekend. I haven't watched Glastonbury, but he was at Glastonbury this weekend. I didn't check it out, so that's a shame. But for some reason, that's been channeled to me, Jacob Collier.
It's hard to take off from the ground when your wings are cut. Your stomach burns when you're drinking from an empty cup. You know the entire ocean came from my tear ducts. I see the world through Fibonacci sequences and double Dutch.
Oh, Fibonacci sequence. He said this before. And I'm a funny person. I'm into all sorts of weird things like that. I read a lot of books. I'm into all sorts of weird things. So like Fibonacci sequence is where you add the next number to the last number to get the next one. So I think it's like 1 plus 2 is 2, plus the one before 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5, plus 3 is 8, and then it goes on and on and on and on. I used to know the Fibonacci sequence to the nth degree, but it goes on and on and on.
I guess there's some that's born lucky, there's some that's not. I tried to cut away my bitterness, hatchet job. I locked my youth inside the trunk, inside the pickup truck, then dumped that whole thing over that same bridge the night you jumped. I think about that sometimes, vividly. What it felt like to look down and see tranquility. One sudden movement in a world of possibility. Only one movement to expose our fragility.
So literally, he's now putting himself into Joe's being, or someone's being, who is literally on the precipice, on the edge of life, just looking to step into that abyss. And it's really easy. It's a really difficult thing to do, but a really easy thing to do. Just take that leap of faith. You know, it's, you know, sometimes we reach a part of our lives where you just, you know, so I'm not going to judge anyone, people. I know a lot of people say people are selfish, they're this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. But unless you live a moment in someone else's shoes, you don't know what that person's going through. You know, it's stress, torment, torture. I ain't ever wishing to be in someone's shoes who's going through those feelings, people. It's not great. It's not great.
then dump that whole thing over that same bridge the night you jumped. I think about that sometimes, vividly. What it felt like to look down and see tranquility. One sudden movement in a world of possibility. Only one movement to expose our fragility. I fucking miss you, and I miss myself. I miss thinking we were indestructible as hell. I miss chilling by the pier cave and kicking back with Callum, Hugo, Justin, Sega, Stevie and the fucking lads. I miss missing that. I numb myself to close the gap. I never even call them up. Distance is my plaster cast, to tell the truth. The day you jumped, my childhood jumped too. But I still can't find the angle. All I find is missing you.
So he said he never called up the old gang, and he said the distance is his plaster cast. It's almost like a crutch, isn't it? It's an excuse to not have to face the facts that, you know, an integral member's no longer there. Whoa.
Back with Callum, Hugo, Justin, Sega, Stevie and the fucking lads. I miss missing that. I numb myself to close the gap. I never even call them up. Distance is my plaster cast, to tell the truth. The day you jumped, my childhood jumped too. But I still can't find the angle. All I find is missing you.
And he said early in the piece, which I thought was quite relevant as well, you know, where he was talking about missing. You know, you miss someone, you miss. It's just the actual presence of someone being there. They don't actually have to be there in the same room as you, but you just know that they're there, they're around. You know, and it just gives you comfort, it gives you strength, it gives you vigor. Just to know, it's funny. It's like if you think about your best friend, your best pal, your best mate, whatever. You know, even just when you think about them, they don't actually have to be there in person, but it makes you feel better, doesn't it? It makes you feel stronger, it makes you walk taller. And I think that's a part of our man Ren. He's saying as well about Joe. You know, he didn't have to literally be there physically, but he missing him. You know, it's one of those things which sometimes you can't put into words.
Myself to close the gap, I never even call them up. Distance is my plaster cast, to tell the truth. The day you jumped, my childhood jumped too. But I still can't find the angle. All I find is missing you.
And the other thing I wanted to say about that as well, because he said even earlier in the piece, we thought we were indestructible. I remember when I was like 16, 17, 18, 19, going out to all these different places. I used to go all around in London to all the clubs. Every single club I frequented, every single club, people, trust me on that. And I used to go to all the different places. Now it's all like the postcode problems. People, you can't go anywhere if you're not from that area, kind of thing. Well, I'm a bit old now, so I don't even know if that's true. But back in the days, I used to meet people. I'm from the West Side. I used to meet people South London, East London, North London. I used to go everywhere. Enough times on foot, train, this, that, everything else. Late at night, whatever, going to clubs, venues, whatever. I was indestructible. I wasn't scared. I used to go on my J's. This is the time where you used to phone your friend from a phone box, from a call box. You had your 20p to put it in. Anyway, forget about that. But it's true. Sometimes you feel indestructible until something happens that makes you question. And you do things which you look back on at a later stage in your life and think, goodness gracious, did we really do that? Did we do that? Really? You know? So I understand 100%. You thought you're indestructible. And the little scrapes and things we got into, oh my goodness, you wouldn't even believe. You would not believe all the scrapes we got into. The near misses and, oh, really?
You might not miss you. With all my rhymes, I picture running 5 minutes quicker, I'm right on time. I picture pulling you back over the edge and then we're crying. And holding you, my brother, and telling you that it's fine. Not the way that it worked, I was late like a jerk. There's not a day where I can find a way to break from the hurt. Your body missing, so we never got to wave to the hearse. I hope you're listening, I love you man, I miss you absurd.
And he said that, I think, in Suicide as well. In some ways he's blaming himself, because he said he was messing around in the studio or something and trying to get something perfect, and if he hadn't done that, then maybe he would have been there to maybe help pull him back from the edge, etc. But I don't think you can blame yourself for anything on that. You know, these things happen. If it didn't happen then, it would have happened probably some other time. And then the double whammy on that is that they never found the body. So the family, I don't even know if they've ever had, what do they call it, closure, because there's nobody to mourn over. I don't know people, so there's a double whammy there. So it's a weird one.
Sure, there's not a day where I can find a way to break from the hurt. Your body missing, so we never got to wave to the hearse. I hope you're listening. I love you, man. I miss you, absurd. Fuck.
Wow, his piano playing is incredible.
Another domino, it falls. Across the way another's born. How you're supposed to raise a child and give it courage from a storm. In a world that is confusing, contradictions pave our flaws. Some will say we're only human, others judge us for our flaws. Some get born in sheets of satin, some get by in tattered clothes. Some will die before they live, that's just how the story goes. But for those of us still with us, who reside inside our hearts, tell them proudly how you feel. And for those of us who aren't, freckled angels stand strong. Freckled angels live.
That's the one. So obviously that's how he portrays, envisages Joe, freckled angel, always live on, always live strong. And when I heard that track, people, oh my gosh, it just, I don't know what it did to me. I was in absolute floods, people. It's so sad.
Inside our hearts, tell them proudly how you feel. And for those of us who aren't, freckled angels stand strong. Freckled angels live on. Freckled angels climb higher. Freckled angels still inspire. Freckled angels won't forget you. Teach me to live my life better. 13 years and still I miss you. Now my wings are missing feather. Otherwise I'd come and join you. But for now I'm here on earth, stuck inside this mortal body. But for everything it's worth, made me braver, made me wiser, made me stronger, made me true, made me face the world with courage. And that's all because of you.
And it's so amazing. Sorry to stop it there, guys, but in all walks of life, I know people like from boxing, etc., people from even the music, etc., who they've lost someone. It could even be a family member. One of them was a twin brother. It could be, as our man Ren did, his best friend, whatever. They've lost someone, but it's actually driven them, and they've been driven to succeed, and they've succeeded for that lost family member, that lost friend, that lost love, that lost whatever the loss was. That's actually helped to fuel them. And they've all said that sometimes they can feel that that person's still there, sort of like not necessarily perched on their shoulder, but the presence of that person is there. And that person, they said that, you know, for some reason that person has helped them to become the person they are now, or to be successful, or to achieve whatever goal they were aiming to achieve. So in some ways that person may be gone, but they're not totally gone, because they live on in their heart, in their minds, and in their drives and in their goals. So I think this is what's happened here with our man Ren. Sort of, he said it's 13 years since he lost his friend Joe. Wow. But I think this is what helps to drive him, as well as all the terrible things that have happened to himself as well.
Freckled angels laugh the hardest, and their hearts, they are the largest. With their wings they fly the farthest, so I know you're gonna be okay. Freckled angels live the longest, and their minds, they are the strongest. Oh, their friends, they are the fondest, so I know you're gonna be okay.
Wow, that's so poignant, guys. Absolutely feel it. He feels it so strongly. Is there any reason? Does anyone know what location this is at? And is there any specific reason why our man Ren has done his performance here rather than anywhere else? I mean, it's an absolutely fantastic vista. It's beautiful. It's one of the finest vistas I've seen. It's beautiful. I love the lighting, you know, with the dark and everything. But I don't know if there's a special reason behind it. If you do know, guys, let me know. And if you know where exactly this location is, please let me know as well. I'm not too sure where it's at, but you know, wow. So that was our man Ren, and that was for Joe. And I think Joe would be absolutely proud of Ren. That was fantastic. That was really, really great. I absolutely loved that. And it's really amazing as well because Ren walked away from his guitar. Because I associate Ren with the guitar. You know, I've done about 10 reactions or something with Ren, and I always think about him and his guitar, but on those keyboards. And I think he did an absolutely incredible version there. I didn't realize he was such a fine player. You know, he's dexterous with his hands, fine player. But it's how he's got a poetic turn of phrase. He has a poetic delivery as well. Everything I see in, as in like in meter, you know, even the metaphors, but it's in meter, and that's where you get the stanzas in poetry. It's in meter, and Ren has it in abundance, so he can express himself how he feels, you know. And at one point he said, you know, at some point he's going to join his friend, but until now he's in this mortal body. But at another point he was saying that even at times he feels like he wanted to join him straight away now, you know. It's such a powerful feeling, loss, love, loss, and kinship. It's an amazing, they're really powerful, powerful, powerful feelings. I mean, love and hate are probably the most two powerful feelings you can have. I might be wrong on that, but and it's how you deal with those feelings that help you to move on or make you just stand still. It's how you deal with them, and sometimes how you use those feelings to charge you to go on and to do what you need to do to survive. But I thought that was incredible, and I absolutely love the fact that he incorporated the Freckled Angels. And if anyone's seen that or you haven't seen it, you should go back and check that track. I think the Freckled Angels version that I did a reaction to was an acoustic version. So I don't even know if there's an official version to it, but it's an acoustic version, and I just thought it was absolutely sensational. It just triggered stuff that happened in my own life over the last few years that have been absolutely just ripped me to shreds. But you know, so I think everyone's going to have a take on what they hear, and I just thought that on the back of Suicide that he did just a few weeks back, and now for Joe, so Ren is now beginning to speak about his feelings, you know, for something that happened, and it still resonates with him. And I think as strongly now as it did 13 years ago. And so a lot of people don't understand that because they always say, oh, time is a great healer, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes time is not a great healer. I know that. I know that for a fact. Sometimes time is not a great healer, people. You can almost be cocooned from the moment that something so, how's I going to say, so powerful in your life happens. Yes, to all intents and purposes, you're moving on in certain ways, but in some times and in some phrases, in some ways, time stands still from that moment. Time stands still, people. Time stands still. It really does. But yeah, I absolutely loved that. So that was our man Ren. That was for Joe. And our boy, our man Ren is just, there's levels in this game, and our man Ren is creating new levels. Levels that I didn't even know existed. But I hope you enjoyed that, guys. I thought that was fantastic. I have such a deep, deep admiration and respect for Ren. I really love doing reactions to Ren, and I hope I do Ren justice. But yeah, that was something different, guys. That was sensational. And I absolutely, to Ren, I feel so sorry for your loss. It hurts. It really hurts. They say time heals, but I don't necessarily think it does. But that's just between me and the gatepost. But guys, that was our man Ren. That was for Joe, and I hope that wherever Joe is, he can look down and smile on that, because that was great. So here at Urb'n Barz, absolutely love doing Ren reactions, and I haven't done any for a while, but we'll be getting back on the Ren trail at some point shortly. But I enjoyed that. I hope you did. If you subscribe to my channel here at Urb'n Barz, thank you so much, guys. If you haven't subscribed, guys, I would love it if you did. Really would love it and appreciate it, guys. If you can like and share, you know, all those things that we ask you to do to help us on the YT algorithm. You know, these same old, whatever. But wherever you are, guys, if you're having trouble, if you're having pain, if you're having stress in your life, if you can reach out to someone, doesn't have to be even someone that you know, but just someone you can reach out to, someone you can just offload a little to and just speak to, just talk through whatever you're going through, guys. Just please reach out to that person, because you never know. You never know. It could be the first step on doing something great to the next phase of your life. But guys, don't suffer in silence. Please reach out to someone. And yeah, there's a lot of people who are willing to help. They will not judge you. That's a lot of things, because sometimes we feel people who are judges. They will not judge you. They will not judge you. Just reach out to them, get help, guys, and let's move forward. Look after yourselves, look after each other. If you can have fun, guys, go out and have fun. Have lots of fun, but be safe and be careful, guys. But I always say more importantly, but I won't, because that's facile thing to say at this point. But guys, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, but make certain you come back to the next Urb'n Barz reaction. Guys, thank you. I'm out.